an incident occurred yesterday. That incident that occurred mainly happened. The one guy, I think he was a baby father, 3 kids, and a lady that he was with, which was their mother. They said it was going on for quite some time. The activity they were doing with those kids was going on for quite some time, and thank God that someone catch them doing it, because there were 2 boys and 1 girl, and they've been living in the neighborhood for quite, you can say, 2 or 3 years or something like that. They've been kept to themselves, and they haven't been showing up too much, as the type of people you would say that, get in people's business or would do certain things or whatever it might be. They just come like a normal, decent kind of people that you trust, and they don't start no commotion or nothing. And they're so silent, they kept to themselves for such a long time that, it was so weird that they just kept to themselves. Never once did they, let open their kids outside, streets, or they have a little fun. They always kept them inside. The only time we see them is when they're going to school, and that's basically it for them. They haven't been normal kids for 3 years, or probably even more before they even had moved there. So it was really weird. And the reason why it was weird is the man that was in the house, he was a sex offender. He was their father, and he went to jail, served his time, but there was custody that was bring to the mother, and she knew that he was a sex offender. God knows how long he was let out of jail, because he gained parole, and some reason he's been visiting those kids secretly, and she had him in her home. She hadn't called no one, made a statement or some form of agreement that he was there to lock him up. She said that she let him in the house because he had nowhere to go, and he had to stay there because he wanted to see his 3 kids. Kids was probably scared, I can say. Instead of 3 years, and no one knows shit of what was going on. We didn't know it was a pedophile, sex offender. And one of the kids, which was a boy, came out outside naked, and the old lady saw the guy, which was a father. You can say she didn't know it was a father, so people might just think differently of what was going on at the time. Running down the kid with a belt. He was also an abuser, they say, and he was beating the kid and holding him by the throat, and carrying him inside the house. The mother was like standing up there, and the old lady called whosoever she had called, and they came and they locked him up. They locked him up. They got statements. They didn't know who this guy was, because you can say was locked up in another state, and he someone got paroled back and came in her life to do some kind of same activity in what she's doing. And for whatever reason, they must have found out who it was, and they charge him. They take the kids into child protective service, and the mother, which was there, seeing everything going on for 3 years, she was locked up as well. Those kids probably foster care. We don't know how long or how much of time they're going to spend, but I know that guy's going to get a hell of a lot of sentence this time, because he breaks parole. And the thing I'm wondering, how could a lady just there and watch that guy do these things to her kids, and she haven't done nothing? She know this guy record, she knows his history, and she still let him run her kids. And for God knowing that guy had done a lot of things to more kids other than his kids. Sex offender in a home doing this, and I'm like saying, damn, why do that? And I'm just saying it's a really sick situation for those kids now that their father is like that and their mother didn't do nothing because they depended on her, and the neighbor was so torn up that if the cops hadn't came, they would have killed the guy. Strictly, they would have killed him, man. And it was really better off for those kids not to even see the parents, because those two boys and that girl were being molested and being abused for 3 years, and no one ever known because they kept to themselves so highly that you wouldn't recognize they do such thing. And basically saying that it's a sick world out there, that anyone that you know that can do these things, and it's too suspicious to even be true, that it might be next door neighbor, it might be someone who's very nice, and they're just everywhere. These people are solely everywhere that they cannot be trusted. You know that you have to keep them far from society. So dangerous and highly intelligent, they go at any length to do what they're doing, and I'm really glad they found that guy. I'm really glad they found him. So it might be better for those kids.